Soviet Games. Natürlich sind alle über 18. Das sagt man ja auch immer. Das ist wichtig. Ja. Ist wichtig, ja. Mhm. Chiki Priki. Ah, gut. Ja, und damit herzlich willkommen hier bei Everlasting Summer. Einer weiteren Visual Novel, diesmal aus Russland. Ähm, die an den Erfolg von Katawaschotsche anknüpfen will, nur halt im anderen Stil, mit einer eigenen Story. Und ich muss sagen, ich habe die ersten 2 Stunden schon mal gespielt und ich bin ziemlich überzeugt von der, ziemlich überzeugt von der, Herrgott nochmal. Ich bin ziemlich überzeugt von der Story. Und wie man hier sieht, ich habe schon ein bisschen gespielt, jetzt sind schon ein paar Bilder freigeschaltet. Ich habe 14 Seiten, anstatt wie, ich glaube, gekürzt sind es nur 10 oder so. Weil ich habe jetzt hier halt noch ich habe die volle Version und nicht die gekürzte Steam-Version. Und ja, es ist eine interessante Geschichte, so viel kann ich sagen. Und wenn es euch nicht gefällt, dann hier. Ja, hier ist die Tür. Hinter der Tür wartet ein Neko-Mädchen, also ihr habt nichts zu verlieren. Aber ich möchte das Spiel nicht verlassen, ich möchte es jetzt spielen. Ich hoffe, ihr versteht mich ordentlich, die Musik ist auch ganz cool. Ja, und dann gehen wir mal hier in neue Gefilde. Der Anfang ist vielleicht etwas textlastig und auch noch ein bisschen langsam, aber glaubt mir, das wird noch richtig spannend. So. I was having the dream once again. Ach ja, das ganze Spiel ist auf Englisch, es gibt kein Deutsch-Patch dafür. Es gibt auch ziemlich viele Leute, die Fanprojekte dann machen. Also der Workshop ist voll mit Custom Stories, aber die sind halt alle russisch, glaube ich. Ich bin mir auch noch nicht sicher, ob ich das Spiel komplett durchspielen werde. Ich werde jetzt auf jeden Fall eine Route machen. Eine Route muss ich machen, nur nach einer Route mit einem guten Ending kann ich die Mikro-Route einschlagen. Also die erste Route und die Mikro-Route mache ich auf jeden Fall. Und so wie ich gelesen habe, wenn man alle Enden durch hat, kommt am Ende noch das Katzenmädchen. Ob ich das aber auch noch aufnehme alles, schauen wir doch mal. Gut. I was having the dream once again. The dream. Same thing every night. But it's all forgotten in the morning as usual. Maybe it's for the best. Only a glimpse of memory will remain, of gates half opened as if inviting me somewhere, with 2 frozen stone pioneers standing close by. And also that strange girl, who keeps asking me... Will you come with me? Ich glaube, ich mache die Musik mal ein bisschen leiser, ich finde die gerade selber ein bisschen laut. So... Perfekt. So ist gut. Come. Where? In your ass? But where? In your face? And why? And where am I anyway? Of course, if it all happened in real life, I would certainly have been scared. Well, what else would one expect to feel? But this is just a dream. Or is it? The same one I see every night. There must be a reason. You don't have to know where or why to realize something is really happening. Something desperately seeking my attention. Since everything that surrounds me here is real. As real as things in my own flat. I could open the gates, hear the hinges creak, brush the crumbling rust away with my hand, inhale the fresh cool air and shiver from the cold. I could. But to do that, I would need to pick myself up, take a step, move my hand. But this is a dream, I understand that. But what of it? What does my understanding change? Because here it's just like on the other side of the cracked screen of an old TV, which struggles to fight against static noises and strives to show its audience everything without missing a single detail. But the picture is getting blurry. I must be waking up soon. Maybe I should ask her something. The girl. What's her name? About the stars, for instance. Why the stars, though? I would rather ask about the gates. Yes, the gates. She should be surprised. She would be so surprised. Or better, why the dot over an I was called a title, but the dot over a J was called a subscript dot. Geht's jetzt um kyrillische Sprache? Nice letters. As if they don't exist anymore. Still, what do letters, gates and stars have to do with this place? Because even if I'm having this dream every night, which will be forgotten soon anyway, I've got to look for answers here and now. And there, if you look carefully, you can see the metallic clouds. So, im Hintergrund sieht aus wie eine Himmelspforte, eine sowjetische Himmelspforte. As if it would ended up in the southern hemisphere. In a dream, there are small things that catch your attention. An unnatural color of grass, impossible curves of straight lines, or your own distorted refraction. While the real danger, which could put an end to everything here, right here and now, seems trivial. It's natural, since here you cannot die. I know it for sure, I've done it hundreds of times. Also das ist anscheinend Mr. Lucide Traumer hier, also der Typ hat sich wohl mehrfach schon in Träumen versucht umzubringen, das ist ziemlich savage, muss ich sagen. But if you cannot die, is there a point in living? I should ask the girl, she's a local, she should know. Yes, exactly. I should ask her about the owl, for example. Diese Eule da mit den roten Augen, ja. One strange bird it is. Though, it doesn't matter. Will you come with me? And every time I have to answer. It's the only way, otherwise the dream will never end, and I will never wake up. So, hier sieht man, was ich schon ausgewählt habe. Und ich werde auch erstmal diese Route weiter verfolgen, die ich gemacht habe. Wie gesagt, die erste Route wird komplett random sein, je nachdem, was ich denke, je nach meinem Gefühl. Ich folge jetzt keinem Guide oder sonstigem. Ich habe mich schon mal in den Guide reingelesen, die ersten 2 Tage, die ich im Spiel gemacht habe, um einfach mal zu gucken, ja, wie da so die Auswirkungen sind. Weiter habe ich mich nicht reingelesen, weil ich mich einfach nicht spoilern möchte. So. Yes, I'll come with you. Every time it's so hard to decide on the answer. Where am I? What am I doing here? Who is she? And why does so much in my life depend on this answer? Or maybe it doesn't. It's just a dream after all. Just a dream. Eine Tastatur. Eine QWERTY-Tastatur. Bernd? Bernd? Bist du's? Wie? Na, dann ist ja alles klar. Also, Stephanie Fred, wir sind auf, wenn ich das richtig sehe, 2chan oder 2chan.ru. Also wir spielen anscheinend einen Bernd. Das ist, das habe ich seit, also Bernd und das Rätsel um Unteralterbach, ist das hier wohl das Bernd und das Rätsel um The Pioneer Camp oder so. Sehr, sehr interessant, also. Was ich mich immer frage, wie schreiben die denn Kyrillisch, wenn er jetzt eine QWERTY-Tastatur hat? Das wäre jetzt mal so. Das ist eine gute Frage, ne? Na gut, aber was ist denn das überhaupt für ein Firefox-Browser? Ja, der ist ja noch von 2007, Junge, oder 2008, Alter. Der hat ja nicht mal Tabs. Was ist denn da los? Ja. Nur weil wir in Russland sind, heißt das doch nicht, dass man so alte Computer hat. Also, ich glaube, hier steht Anime. Ich kann es nicht richtig sehen. Ja. Interessant. Wir sind of Tuchel. The computer screen stared at me as if it was alive. Nun, Stephanie so... Warum haben die einen Stephanie Fred ausgewählt? Kann mir das mal einer sagen? Ist das Russenboard auch nur voller Pedos oder was? Oh Mann. Sometimes it really did seem to me that it was conscious out of itself, had its own faults and vicious ambitions, that it had feelings, could love and suffer. As if in our relationship, the screen wasn't an instrument. It was me who was lifeless piece of plastic and text to light. There's some truth in that, probably because the computer provides 90% of my communication with the outside world. Wir sind ein lauer Master, oder lauer Meister, sorry. Anonymous Imageboards. Some chats from time to time, rarely ICQ or Chapper. Chapper? Alter, wer benutzt denn Chapper außer Leute von EVE Online, Alter? Wer benutzt denn Chapper? And forums even more rarely. People on the other end of the internet cable simply do not exist. All of them are simply creations of its sick imagination, an error in the source code or kernel bug, which started living a life of its own. Das ist eine kritische Ansichtsweise, meine Herren. Was ist das denn? Ne, okay, eine Deckenlampe. Ja. Eine ziemlich hässliche Deckenlampe, also. Und da hängt ein Teppich an der Wand. Wo sind wir hier? In Russland oder Saudi-Arabien? If one looked at my existence from the outside, such thoughts would seem crazy, and psychologics would surely give me a bunch of sophisticated diagnoses, and maybe write me a doctor's referral to the loony bin. Da geht auch schon die Tapete von der Wand runter. Der Raum hat keine Tür, oder wie sieht das aus? A small apartment with no signs of repair or any semblance of order in it. And always the same view out of the window on the grey megalopolis running somewhere day and night. Such are the conditions of my life. Well, of course it didn't all start like this. I was born, went to school and finished it, like all the others. I was accepted at a university where I spent a year and a half trailing behind and struggling. I drifted through several jobs. Sometimes it was working out quite well, sometimes I was even getting decent money for it. But it all felt like it was not mine, as if taken from another man's biography. I wasn't living life to its fullest. It was looping over and over in monotonous circles. Like in the movie Groundhog Day. It's just that I had no choice in how to spend my day, and every day repeated itself, the same vicious spiral. A spiral of emptiness, misery and despair. For the last few years I just sat in front of the screen all day. Sometimes there were manual jobs, sometimes my parents helped me. All in all, I was able to provide for myself. No wonder really, since my needs are quite minor. I hardly ever leave my home, and my communication with other people almost exclusively consists of online correspondence with the anonymous, who have no real name, no gender, no age. So, in brief, a quite typical life for a quite typical antisocial person of this time. Kind of Donnie Darko on a minor scale, without doomsday-related visions. Maybe some highly respected author, will write a novel about me, and it will become a contemporary classic of modern literature. Or I will write one myself. However, what's the point of fooling myself? I tried many times, but couldn't even come up with a simple short story. I tried to learn many other things as well. Not gifted enough to draw, programming, got bored. Foreign languages takes too much time. Junge, du hast alle Zeit der Welt. The only thing I loved doing was reading. but still, I never would have called myself a schooler. Perhaps I was an ace at watching anime and a grandmaster of flame internet jokes. Ja. If I were to get paid for it, it would probably be a happier person, and a richer person too, but I doubt it will fill the hole inside me. Today was another typical day of a typical failur's typical life. And today is the day when I have to go to my university reunion. Ich frage mich, ob einer der Entwickler oder ob der Storywriter dieser Geschichte, ob der irgendwie mal so war oder so ist oder keine Ahnung. And today is the day when I have to go to my university reunion. Frankly speaking, I really didn't want to. What is the point? The time I spent with them was so short. However, I was persuaded by a friend, my former university mate and one of the few with whom I kept in touch other than through the internet. Das habe ich das letzte Mal nicht gesehen, dass da Tschirno ist, Alter. Da ist tatsächlich Tschirno, ein nettes Easter Egg. A frosty evening. Bus stop. Waiting. Ich muss sagen, dafür, dass er die ganze Zeit daheim hockt und eigentlich nichts tut, ist der eigentlich, sieht der doch ganz schlank aus, ne? Der ist schlank, gepflegter Bart, ja gut Frisur. Wohnt vielleicht im Gopnik-Viertel, aber ansonsten ist ja alles okay, ne? So. I never liked winter. Though hot summer is not my season either. It's just that I see no reason to point out any particular time of the year. It doesn't matter much what the weather is outside when you stay at home 24/7. The bus today was running so late that I was about to curse it all and spend my last few hundred rubles for a taxi. The idea of just returning home didn't cross my mind for some reason. As usual, millions of thoughts flew through my mind, but there was not a single useful one to seize on. Such a thought that you could bring into existence, give a shape, turn into an idea, put into a practice. Maybe I could start my own business, but where should I get the money from? Or maybe I could go back to working in an office? Ha, no way. Maybe I should try freelancing. But what skills do I have and who would want me after all? Ich finde es interessant, dass er in der Vergangenheit redet. I suddenly remembered my childhood, or rather my teen years, the time when I was 15, 17 years old. Why exactly those years? No idea. I guess it's because back then everything was much more simple. It was easier to make decisions, so complicated now and so simple then. Waking up in the morning, I knew exactly how my days was going to pass and I always eagerly looked forward to the weekend. Then I could get some rest and have time for the things I liked. Computer, football, going out with friends. Oh, ich kann mich selber so sehr damit in Verbindung bringen. Ohne Witz. And then, at the beginning of next week, I will take my studies again. But then, there was no such worrying questions like why, who needs it, what will change if I do it, or what will not change. A simple lifestyle is so casual for any normal person and so odd to myself today. That careless childhood age. It was also then that I met my first love. Her appearance and personality have vanished from my memory. Only her name remains, like a brief line of a social network profile, along with the feelings which overwhelmed me when I was with her. Affection, tenderness, the desire to care for her and protect her. Ich glaube, der Mann hatte eins mehr Beziehungen als mancher Bernd. Sadly, it didn't last long. Today I can hardly imagine something like that happening. I would probably like to meet a girl, but I don't know how to start a conversation, what on earth to discuss, and how to attract her. Well, I haven't met any suitable girls for a long time. But where could I meet one anyway? The sound of an engine brought me back to reality. A bus pulled over. There was something abnormal about it, I thought. Then again, it doesn't matter, only the 410 runs this route. Ja, hier fährt einfach ein Aston Martin rum. 1er BMW, gut, ist ja nichts Besonderes, keine Ahnung, was das ist. Ein Skoda vielleicht? Könnte VW sein, bin ich mir nicht sicher. Nur deutsche Autos. Da, ein Opel! Da sieht man sogar noch das Opel-Zeichen da vorne. Ja, das ist ja interessant. Und natürlich in einer russischen Stadt, kennt man ja, sind Anime-Poster. Das ist doch ganz normal. Auf jeden Fall. Streetlights pass me by. It's as if the cold light sparks inside of me, trying to ignite feelings long dead. Or maybe not ignite, just awaken them. Because those feelings, they have been living in me for a long time, slumbering and waking up again. The Trios radio was playing some very familiar tune, but I wasn't listening to it. I was watching the cars passing by through the fogged up window. A fogged up window, mate! Because people are always rushing somewhere, chasing something they need, stuck in their own little worlds. Why would they care about mine? They probably have their own serious problems, or maybe they have much easier lives. You can't know for sure, since all people are different. Or are they? Sometimes someone's actions can easily be predicted, but if you try to look inside his soul, you will only see impenetrable darkness. The bus was approaching downtown, and my thoughts were interrupted by the bright city lights. Hundreds of billboards, thousands of cars, millions of people. I watched the slideshow and somehow I got terribly sleepy. My eyes closed just for a moment and then... Muki.